Hi and welcome back to the International Skills Institute. This video is the second part of a two-part series to help students complete Assignment 1 of Cluster 1 for the Diplomas of Business, Business Administration and Management. As outlined in the first video, this assignment is made up of 12 short answer questions. You must successfully complete all 12 questions. This video covers questions 7 through 12, and part A of this series covered questions 1 through 6. Question 7. Explain 3 techniques for effective time management that could be used to reduce stress in the workplace and maintain a work-life balance. Guidance for this question can be found on pages 8 to 11 of the Learner Guide. To answer this question, you need to think about what can cause stress in the workplace. Being unorganised is a huge cause of stress. But what else can cause you stress? Now think about ways you can try and reduce the risk of that stress occurring. Could you be more organised? Could you set restrictions on yourself? Remember when answering the question to include 3 examples of techniques you could use to reduce stress. Question 8. Explain 3 barriers that might affect your ability to achieve your personal work priorities and professional development needs, and give an example of how you would get around these barriers. Guidance for this question can be found on pages 22 to 24 of the Learner Guide. To answer this question, think about what are some of the things that might restrict us being able to achieve our personal work priorities and your own personal training needs. This could be that you're having difficulty actually accessing the training. If so, how would you overcome that? You could have a lack of support from your boss or colleagues. How would you combat that? Remember, when answering this, you must provide 3 examples of possible barriers, as well as 1 example for each, showing how you could get around that barrier. Question 9. Describe 3 ways you could use to identify and provide access to learning and development for people in your team. This could be internal or external learning opportunities. How could you track if the right people were accessing the training? Guidance for this question can be found on pages 18 to 21 of the Learner Guide. Think about what you could do to identify what training is needed for you and for your work colleagues. How do you find out what skills they already have and what they need? This could be from visually watching them, or could come from things like interviews or staff performance appraisals from managers. Make sure you give 3 examples of ways you could identify what training is needed and 3 ways you could ensure that people are provided with that training. Question 10. Explain 3 strategies you could use to help team members develop their workplace knowledge and skills. One of your 3 strategies should say how you would encourage people to share their skills and knowledge with others in the team, even if they didn't want to. Guidance for this question can be found on pages 18 to 21 of the Learner Guide. Think about how you could encourage people at work to share their skills and knowledge with other people. How would you help people around you develop skills and knowledge that could help with their work? And what would you do if someone didn't want to help others in this way? Remember, you need to think like a manager. You're their boss, their supervisor, their manager, or whatever the term is. So what techniques could you use to encourage these people to undertake training? Question 11. This question is in 2 parts. Part A. In approximately 50 words, explain the strategies you use to help team members develop their workplace knowledge, skills, and attributes. Guidance for this question can be found on pages 18 to 21 of the Learner Guide. To answer this question, you need to include about 50 words. explaining how you would help other members of your work team to increase and develop their skills and knowledge about work. Remember, you are looking at this as their boss. What can you do to help them increase their skills? This could be formal or informal training. Part B. In approximately 50 words, explain how you would encourage them to share their skills and knowledge with others in the team. As with Part A, guidance for Part B can be found on pages 18 to 21 of the Learner Guide. In Part B, you need another 50 words or so on how you could encourage the people in your workplace to share their skills and experience with others. Remember that a workplace is a team, so those people in your team need to ensure they are helping others as much as possible. As their manager, how could you encourage them to do this? And finally, question 12. Choose an organisation you are familiar with and describe at least 3 of the organisation's systems or procedures to record and report on training completions, status, and competency. If you're unable to identify 3 options in your organisation, give examples of systems or procedures that could be used in the workplace. Guidance for this question can be found on pages 25 to 28 of the Learner Guide. You need to think about an organisation. It doesn't need to be a work group, it can be any type of group. And describe how that organisation records and reports on training. Do they copy each certificate? Do they have a large database? Do they do a report each year saying what everyone has achieved? If you can't think of 3 actual examples, give 3 examples that you think might work in the workplace. This concludes our video tutorial on assignment 1 for cluster 1. As always, your trainer is here to help, so please get in touch. And remember that the internet is full of great information, so please have a look around. You'll be amazed at what you can find. Thank you and good luck. I look forward to seeing some great assignments from you all.